Welcome to Mark Alyn Cooks Your Dinner. This is going to be a special treat. We're going all the way to South America for this. Absolutely. We're going to Brazil. Well, actually, we brought a person from Brazil to the U.S. We'll talk to Andrea in just a couple of moments as Mark Alyn Cooks Your Dinner takes to the air. Here we go. We have a special guest. A couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago, I started some physical therapy. Nothing serious, but I started talking about food, as I often do with my therapist, who is Dr. Lopasso. Have I gotten the last name right, Andrea? You can bring her in with me. And unmute her, and there she is. Is she beautiful or what? And Andrea, you can talk now.
Hi.
Hi there. You are Dr. Lopasso.
That's correct, yes.
That is correct. But we're going to call you Andrea here. Are you a foodie? Would you call yourself a foodie?
I don't have enough knowledge to classify myself as a foodie, but I do really love food.
You do. And you're a vegan as well. You're into health.
That's correct.
Right? So, which is very good. We're going to make an almost vegan dish. I didn't have a chance to find some vegan cheese. We're going to use regular cheese. We're going to be making, I'm going to call it a Brazilian crepe. And you have the actual name. So could you tell me that, please?
The name is tapioca.
Tapioca, that's it?
That's it.
Now, you told me the other day that these are actually, I guess they're sold on street corners, like taco trucks here in the United States? Street food?
They are very frequent. You find them like in street food. You find them in Rio. They are originally from the northeast of Brazil. But, you know, as globalization happens, you find it all over Brazil. And you find them, as you find food trucks here, you find tapioca food trucks.
Gotcha. And while we're doing this, by the way, if you see me doing this, it's because Andrea has asked me to do that several times a day. All right, we're going to start. We're going to make 3 or 4 of these crepes and then fill them with cheese and then jam. And but you told me they can be filled with just about anything, and we'll talk about that as we make it. So we're going to start. I've got Bob's Red Hill tapioca flour. I'm going to show that here. Hey, Bob. Bob makes all kinds of different stuff. He's got oatmeal. He's got all kinds of flours. And what we're going to do is we're going to take some. How much should I put out? I never measure.
Me neither. So that's why I'm thinking.
Well, you tell
start
me.
Pouring.
You can just pour it. And this is like the finest flour I've ever. I mean, it is really.
It is very, very fine.
Very fine.
Yeah.
I don't have my normal towel behind me because I forgot it. And we'll take that one. Thank you. And, ooh, got to suck that in. We're going to do this here a bit. There we go. So we've got a pretty good shot of that. And I'm going to put in some water. I have 3 cups of water. I'm going to do it slowly, you said.
That's correct. So you add a little bit of water. That should be enough. And then you start mixing with your hands.
Not with my spoon.
No, use your hands.
All right. Ooh.
Yes. It becomes kind of hard.
Yes.
Yes.
So I need to add more water already, huh?
If you still have flour, yes, you need to add more water.
All right. Carol, I need you to come around the other side and pour the water slowly. The elusive Carol. A little bit more. It's turning into a paste.
That's right. It's gonna, don't let it become too much of a paste. Well, the worst thing that can happen is that we need to add more tapioca flour, that's all.
Okay. When did you come to the, add a little bit more water, honey. Thank you.
So Mark, I see like a little pool of water. You shouldn't
Yes,
have any pool of water. Everything should become kind of a hard paste.
it's becoming a hard paste.
Yes. So I
Well,
came to the United States this last time in 2010.
right. That's when you came?
Well, this time I lived here many times. I moved back and forth quite a few times.
I see. You're here to stay? Maybe to visit?
Um,
We don't know.
Possibly.
Possibly, okay. They need physical therapists in Brazil too.
They do, but in Brazil they don't pay well. And
Oh,
because they need PTs all over the world, it's easy for me to choose a place to go.
this is the most unusual flour and water mixture I've ever encountered. Yeah, thank you. I mean, it really is. When you told your family that you were going to do a little video cooking, did they think you were nuts? Because my
I told
family
my
did.
son,
Yeah,
I told my son, yes, I did tell him.
it's there is more liquid here, but I still
Yes.
okay.
So add a little bit more flour. Add a little. It's a very interesting mixture. Yeah. And the texture when you actually get to taste it is going to be very different too.
Now, is this the same? I asked you this before, and is this the same kind of tapioca that you find in tapioca pudding?
I'm assuming so because I haven't tried tapioca pudding, but I'm assuming so because tapioca flour in Brazil you have two kinds. One is called sweet, the other one is called sour. Here in the United States you only find one kind.
And this is sweet or sour, this one?
Good question. I don't know. I know that I use it and it works. It also works to make pão de queijo, which is like the Brazilian cheese bread.
Got it. This is turning into a hard ball.
That's what you want.
Okay, like this.
Yep, that you can break apart. That's correct. You're right. That's exactly what you want.
All right. And it's breaking apart.
Mm-hmm.
Do we
And you
have
should
enough
try.
here to make at least one
Yeah,
crepe?
you have enough to make one. I would try to add a little bit more flour.
Okay. My flour pourer is coming around. Thank you, flour pourer. When you make this at home, does your son like this? Is this a big
Not
treat?
really.
No.
No. I'm telling you, it's an interesting texture in your mouth and a very it doesn't have a lot of taste to it, so it takes what the taste of whatever filling you put in.
Got it. You know, in England they have Vegemite, and in Australia Marmite, and I can't remember which is which. And people just either love it or they don't. But if they're growing up here, the kids usually don't like it. All right,
Yeah.
I've got a ball.
Yes. Uh, if you squeeze it, does it break apart?
Yes. Should it?
Yeah. Can you
Yes.
squeeze a little piece for me to see if we have the right consistency?
Sure.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
look.
right. Perfect.
Good. So the messier, the better.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll put these back. All right. Now what do I do?
So now you get what's the name of that thing I told you?
The strainer?
Uh, you know, language barriers. These
Yes.
things.
We
Yeah,
have the
that
same one.
thingy.
Okay. And I have another bowl. And I'm going to put
Yeah,
that over.
except you don't need the other bowl because you're gonna push that through it with a spoon on top of the pan.
on top of the pan in here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I should turn the heat on?
Since it's your first time doing it, I would wait until we
Okay.
put the whole thing on it, and then you'll turn the heat on.
Okay. By the way, if you've noticed, we now have a background of artichokes. And the reason I chose artichokes is because it's my favorite vegetable. Okay.
I love artichokes too.
Yeah, I do too. So I'm going to take this and put it, Carol. Oh, good. Thank you. I'm going to break this apart,
Yep.
and I'm putting lumps in.
Uh-huh.
Now, I've never tried this before. Usually, I try my recipes first. Okay. So I can put that down, and then push it through like this.
I would get a spoon.
A spoon. I have
Yeah.
one over
So
here.
you can push through it.
I've got a big spoon. Is that okay?
Yeah. That should do it. And you see it's gonna become like the as thick as the strainer, however that's called.
It's not going through very much.
It's not at all?
No. Well, a little bit.
Oh, see, there is too much water. You see how there is water coming out?
Right?
Yeah. You shouldn't have any water. So that
Well,
means we need more flour
Well, where do I put the flour?
onto that ball that you're mixing.
Into here? Into the
No,
pan?
no, no, no. Into the mixture on the thing. Mm-hmm.
Into here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. All right, there we go. And I'm mixing it in, but it's very sticky. Tapioca is also used as a starch and as a thickener.
That's right. Yeah, so you don't want any of that on the pan, Mark. Otherwise, when you actually get to push it through it,
Yeah?
it won't be a flat, it won't taste good and it won't be good.
Well, I don't know if this is working, Andrea.
So what I would do, I would
Yes.
take everything out of where it is, back to the bowl, and add more flour.
So take everything out and go back to the bowl.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're back over here.
You know, Mark, as your PT, I gotta make you walk around and do more work, of course.
I'm up and down. Okay.
And
And
it's,
then-
yeah, it's, mm-hmm.
You still think I need to add a little bit more flour in there, huh?
Yes, yes, you do.
And I do need to strain it?
You will need to strain everything through it, through the thing after.
The strainer is fine. Do I thought
I
was.
did hear that. It's not a problem.
All right.
It's pretty, I think it's similar to the one I have. So
Yeah.
it should work fine.
I'm going to get killed after this. It's all crumbly, okay?
Yeah.
There's no water left.
Yeah.
It's-
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Can you see that?
I can see that.
Okay. I don't understand what's going to hold it together, but
You'll see the magic happening.
all right. I still have to strain it. I'm worried about that, obviously.
I can tell. Don't worry about it.
All right.
If you to make it better, rinse the strainer thingy.
The strainer thing, rinse it? Okay.
Yeah.
You have to sing while I'm rinsing it. The other day,
Oh,
while-
you don't want me singing, believe me.
All right. Okay. The
Now
other
make
day
sure
while Andrea
uh,
was working on me, and she wasn't talking, I asked her to tell me a story. She didn't do that. Okay.
no,
So
I
we
asked
have
you
the
to tell
strainer
me a
now.
story.
I told you a story.
Yes,
I
you
conned
did.
you into coming onto this show. So what I want to do now is,
You want to put that all broken, all the broken pieces of it on the metal
okay,
thing,
on
on
the
the
strainer.
strainer, and get a metal spoon.
A metal spoon.
Mm-hmm.
One metal spoon coming up.
There you go.
Now, what's become very popular, and I'll use the metal spoon this time.
Yeah, use the metal
In
spoon because I think it works better.
okay. What's become very popular are Brazilian steakhouses.
Yes, yes, because it's a all-you-can-eat kind of thing. So you pay. It's not the cheapest thing. Oh, you see that thing coming out?
It's coming out as a fine powder.
Perfect. And now you're gonna make sure that you distribute the fine powder evenly through the frying pan, and you get some thickness to it.
Okay. Well, while I'm doing this, uh, where did you grow up in Brazil?
I grew I grew up in São Paulo
Okay.
and part-time in a farm, part-time in the city.
Did you grow up on a farm or in the city?
Half and half.
Half and half. And
Hmm.
what kind of farm?
It was a coffee farm.
A coffee farm.
Hmm.
Wow. At what age did you start drinking and tasting coffee then?
Oh, I don't do that. I don't like coffee.
Never did?
No, never.
Wow. I'm going to take this out. You see what I've got here other than the mesh?
Yes.
That's what I'm supposed to
Yes.
have?
That's what you're supposed to have, and make sure to spread it evenly on
Okay.
the powder that you have on the pan. Make sure to spread it evenly so you have one even layer.
Okay. We're only going to be able to do one of these on this show, but that's okay. Carol,
Then,
would you
if you
like me to
like
do?
it,
I'm
you can
sorry.
try it more. And then, if you like it, you can try to make more on your own.
Yes. And we'll have the recipe um, up in the next couple of days. I think that's enough.
That is plenty.
Is that good?
Yeah.
So I'm going to spread it around evenly.
Yeah, and make sure you see how you have some holes. Make sure everything is nice and even. There you go. Your hands might be better.
I may not.
And ideally, you want a circle, but that's okay. It can be oval too.
I'm sorry?
Ideally, you want a
Oh,
circle,
yeah, I
but
was never very good in art class. Yeah, I've kind of got a rectangle going here.
that's fine.
Okay.
And
All
now
right.
push it together a little bit so it solidifies a little. There you go.
Okay.
Nice.
Now turn on the heat.
Yes.
I didn't ask this before. High heat? High heat or?
Let's do medium.
All right.
And as it heats up, that's when they bind together. And you're going to see that the edges are going to start to come loose. And that's when it's ready for you to flip it. And then you're going to put the filling on top of the side that you just flipped.
Gotcha. You realize I am going to be showing this to everybody you work with.
That's okay. Not a problem.
Okay. And you work at, let's give them a plug.
Ventura Orthopedics in Thousand Oaks.
Okay. Thousand Oaks, California. Carol, can you get me spatula, please? I forgot about that. I have no idea where. Well, I don't know where it was. Yeah. So let's look. It's heating up.
Yeah, and
Okay.
it's starting to come together. Yes, can you see that?
Yes, it's starting to stick.
Yeah.
What if I? Is
Yes,
that?
you can absolutely do that. That's what I do.
This is going to be spotty. But. So, growing up on a coffee farm, what kinds of things did you? I mean, did you grow other things?
No, well, we had our own, oh, how do you call this in English? Well, we had our own place where we grew garden vegetables and fruit garden. Yeah, we
Right.
had both. And we had cows for milk too. But that was just for our consumption and not for sale. Just the coffee were for sale.
It's starting. It's not quite. It's going to fall apart.
So wait a little bit more because it will solidify on the bottom, and that's when you can flip it.
Got it. Now, Andrea had. Oh, turn up the heat maybe? Turn up the heat maybe a little bit, Andrea?
Yeah, give it a try.
Okay. Come back to a two-shot, please. So while we're waiting for that, and I'll keep track of that, you fill this now with things like, I guess, jam or vegan cheese, any other savories that you put into it?
Me personally, I do butter and a vegan cheese, but you can do cheese and tomato. You can do a very popular combination in Brazil, which is cheese and guava. It's not really a candy, but it's a sweet made out of guava. You combine the
Ooh.
two. Yeah.
Now,
So you can be creative.
Carol, come back here. This is kind of cool. Oops. Well, let's use that one. All right.
Did it become a solid thing? Yep. There you go. That's it.
Whoa, baby. Maybe we should rename this the Whoa Baby.
And now
Carol,
be careful because it's very crumbly. So when you flip it, yeah, perfect, Mark. Good job.
Don't try this at home, folks. I am a professional.
And now add whatever filling you want on top of it.
I put the ingredients on now. The filling. Yes. Okay. You want cheese or the fig?
Well, you put one on one half.
Oh, good idea. That's why she gets the big bucks. Okay. How's that, Andrea?
That's good.
Okay.
Ideally, you close it after you put the filling, but if you want to do half and half, I guess that would work.
What if I know what I can do.
Oh, then you won't be able to close it, Mark.
I'm sorry?
Then you won't be able
If
to
you,
close it.
Oh. Well, I'm not going to put the jam on then. We'll just keep it with the cheese.
keep the cheese all on one side where you make the mark there to when you're trying to cut it. Keep it all on one side because you're going to close it.
Got
Like
it.
a taco kind of thing.
Ouch. Be
And
careful.
now go ahead and close the tapioca.
Yeah, I'll
Perfect.
turn the heat down.
And you're going to leave it there for a little bit, and then you can flip it so you can get the cheese to melt on both sides.
Okay. I'm going to turn the heat down just a bit. I think this has been our messiest show.
Whoops, sorry.
Actually, Andrea was going to we were going to cook a fish soup kind of like, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it takes
Yeah.
a long, long time. Carol, actually, Andrea, what's the name of the restaurant, the Brazilian restaurant in Thousand Oaks?
Moqueca?
Yes, Moqueca.
Yeah.
Really terrific. Carol loved it. We've only eaten there once. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Moqueca is delicious, but it does take quite a bit of time.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to flip it to get the cheese cooked on both sides. I'll take a plate out. Whoa. Now coming up, Andrea, is the part that I like the best. And
You
that's
trying it?
Yes, where I get to try it.
I am curious to see your reaction. When I told my son, he goes like, "Oh, Mom."
Does he like the soup better?
You know, he never tried he never tried moqueca.
No?
And no, because I never made it.
Oh, that's right. You're vegan with an occasional
Yeah.
foray as a pescatarian, right?
That's right. Very
Okay.
occasionally.
Do you think the cheese is melted sufficiently?
I think it should be good. I think it should be good.
All right. Yes. All right. I'm going to do a little cleanup here. And put that down so Carol can take a pretty picture. That looks nice. Now, the texture is, and I'm letting it cool because I am a big baby. When we first started the show, I popped something into my mouth, and I'm but the texture of this is a little grainy. Is that how it?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I did a good
it's grainy
I'm a
and it's
Brazilian.
dry. You're a Brazilian. It's grainy and dry. So I'm interested to see your reaction.
All right.
And you can eat that with your hands, by the way.
Oh. No, I can't. It's still a little hot. So I'm going to take a little piece off. Look at this, folks. Okay. 1, 2. I hope it's not too hot. It's interesting.
Right?
Yeah.
It's dry, but it's gooey at the same time.
Right. It is. The flour has the shell doesn't have much taste.
No,
Right?
it doesn't have much taste. It's just whatever you put in, that's the flavor that is going to be accentuated.
Well, I always say I like my own cooking, don't I? I like my own cooking. It's good. It's different.
It's very different.
Japanese food has a lot of textures and little or no flavors in some of their dishes. Would you think this is similar to that? In that there's a lot of texture here.
There's a lot of texture. Yeah, because like I said, it's like dry, but it's gooey at the same time. And yeah, it has no taste. I guess you can say that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
But in honesty, that came about because people who have no money, that's the only vehicle they had to eat something. So that's how it came about in Brazil.
Got it. I have to tell you that this is, how many ounces? This is a full pound of tapioca powder or flour, and it was $3.50.
Yeah, it's very cheap because it's a root.
It's still very cheap. It's still
Yeah.
very cheap. All right, I'm going to take one more bite. This time I can pick it up. And, ooh, look, Carol, you can see the gooey cheese there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Is the second bite better, Mark?
it is more cheese. It's very nice. I really appreciate you doing this. Will you find another Brazilian recipe for us and come back in a while?
I can definitely do that. I just need to find a quick one. Most
Yes.
Brazilian recipes are long.
Ah, well, this is great. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Andrea Lopasso. Um, and she's a physical therapist. I will see you next week. I'll be doing my exercises.
There you go.
There you go. Right off of a camera. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching. We really appreciate it. Any comments, please leave them for us. We'd appreciate it. I'm Mark Alyn. Carol, thank you. Carol, thank you.